Hi, Sarah from Sacred Tree again. And I'm just kind of putzing around here in the shop today, cleaning out some spring stuff that I have on display, which was my spring detox plan, and with a heavy metal add-on. So I formulated this spring detox to hit every organ system for detoxification. So that means lungs, skin, kidney, liver, digestion, not necessarily in that order, because when we detoxify our bodies, we want to be sure the pipes are clean. So I always start with the healing gut powder. You can see it. So that's a 12-day cleanse, and then we go on with the liver and then the kidneys. And then I have a formulation for a cellular cleanse, so it kind of gets deeper into the body. And then you can add on the heavy metal component to it, which again is all about detox. You know, we live in a kind of a dirty environment, and all of us have issues with heavy metal. So I'm cleaning this out, no pun intended, to make room for more magical items that I want to feature. But in the process of that, as I drop things on the floor, you know, when I have slow days like this because of bike week, unfortunately, it really does a number on small businesses like mine. I love to create. So I'm going to create a facial serum today. So interesting, right? So you can have herbs for internal use, custom blends, anything on the shelf to help your body, you know, with all the different things that goes on, you know, the imbalances that people have. And a lot of times people say, Sarah, do you have an herb for that? It's like, well, it's not just one herb, but herbs can help with any issue, anything, you know, whether it's to complement what you're already doing in regards to, even if you're on medications. You know, a lot of times when you start using herbs, it actually increases the efficacy of your pharma drugs. You know, antibiotics is a great example of that. There's a lot of examples. But, you know, topical use for plants is important as well, because whatever goes on your skin, you know, goes into your body. And your skin is your largest organ. So it's an excretory organ, which means it excretes toxins, but it also takes in things from the environment. And if you can't eat it, don't put it on your skin. You know, I've had conversations with people regarding topical use of, say, Frontline and these poisons we're putting on our dogs all the time, which is insane to me. We have to slightly poison our dogs for their whole life. We wonder why they get cancers at 9 years old. I don't aspire to that logic. I don't think it's logical, but I've had people tell me that this Frontline stuff doesn't go into their body. And if you know anything about the human body or a dog's body, which is very similar to humans, your skin takes in toxins. Okay, so if whatever you're putting on your dog's skin, you're putting in their body. So same applies to humans. If you can't eat it, don't put it on your skin. There's a lot of products out there that they call science-based technology or whatever. But, you know, if you can't pronounce it, it shouldn't go on your skin. So unless it's a scientific name and it's Latin, and, you know, that's okay. Because every one of these plants has a Latin name and it's not easy to pronounce. But I have to just say that caveat. So I've got a bunch of oils here, as you can see, lined up. So I'm going to talk about why I'm, you know, making this serum for skin, and all the different components that are going to go into it. So I've got my two ounce bottles here, and what I'll do is I'll just put a dropper in there. And so what you'll do is you'll take the oil in a dropper, and you can just put like a quarter size or a dime size on your hand, and you're going to go like this, and you're just going to put it all on your skin. What I've been doing, you know, for my skin, I only use the stuff I make. And I do use the satin sheen cream that I make here at the shop. I'll go get it. and it's for mature skin. Okay. And it's this doesn't focus very well. So the satin sheen cream has almond oil, shea butter, rose water, jojoba, vitamin E, beeswax, some essential oils, probably lavender. I love lavender on the skin. Rose is another one, but hyaluronic acid, so you can get the powder, and I do like that in this cream. That's about the only chemical-y thing that I use in anything, and it's safe to use, and it helps plump your skin. But this is a whole different ball game. This is just a straight up oil. It's not a cream, so it doesn't have oil and water. So I'm going to rattle off the ingredients for you, and this is what I consider everything but the kitchen sink. Ultimate skin serum is what I'm calling it. So I've got the chia seed, and chia seed oil is high in antioxidants, rosmarinic acid, and caffeic acid. Excellent for the skin, mature skin. Cucumber seed oil. And these are all seed oils, by the way, just so you know. But they're cold pressed seed oils, and they're all organic, so there's no chemicals in them. Cucumber seed oil helps increase collagen, and it's protective for the sun. It hydrates, it's anti-inflammatory, and it helps fade the age spots that we get, or what I call liver spots. So if you can keep your liver clean, you know, your liver supported, you'll get less of those liver spots that tend to hang out here, also called sunspots. You know, as a holistic practitioner, I look at the skin, and the skin tells me the state of the liver. So if you have a lot of spots, yeah, it can be from the sun. So we ask these questions, but they're typically from poor liver detox action. Anyway, so the cucumber will help fade those. And then I've got a little bit of sea buckthorn. This has got a lot of omega-7s, which we don't talk about a lot. Really good for plumping the skin. And it's just skin food. And then I've got rosehip seed oil. What's wrong with rose? Nothing. Rosehip seed oil is a tissue regenerator. It's antioxidant. It's going to help keep your skin smooth, and it doesn't break you out. So I have really sensitive skin, and I do use this oil right on my skin. Sometimes I might get a little pimple, but I'm super sensitive. So, but in general, I love just the rosehip seed oil, but this is like next level stuff here. What else do I have? Kukui nut. And kukui nut, I got my cheat sheet here, is moisturizing, and it actually helps with acne. So you could probably just do this straight up to help with acne. And then I've got some Baobab seed oil, which is supposedly good for eczema. It has a lot of omega-3s in it. It locks in moisture, improves elasticity, has A, D, E, and F vitamins in there, reduces wrinkles, and it's antioxidant. So that's Baobab. And then I have a plum oil, which is antioxidant, hydrating, and it firms up your skin, and it gets rid of those fine lines and wrinkles. So we can all use that. And then I have my own infused oil here. Well, one more. Pumpkin seed oil. Again, food for the face. Pumpkin seed coincidentally helps grow back hair. So not that that's what we're going for women on the face, but for the men in your life, if they get a little alopecia, it can help grow in their hair. And coincidentally, if you didn't know this, there is a correlation. All disease begins in the gut. There's a correlation between lack of diversity of your microbiome in your gut, your bacteria in your gut, with alopecia. They've done fecal implant therapies, which basically takes microorganisms from a healthy individual and implants them rectally. I know it sounds gross, but the people with alopecia are growing their hair back because of different gut bacteria. So wrap that around your head. Huh, no pun intended. So it's interesting, you know, all disease begins in the gut, and I find that helping people with gut, microbiome diversity. So you have to get a diverse amount of bacteria in the gut to stay healthy. Anyway, sidetrack. So pumpkin seed oil, who knew, topically and internally. So, and pumpkin seeds are known as they're anti-parasitic. So they have some components in there that help kill off the bad stuff. So pumpkin seed oil is going in there. And then I've got St. Johnswort oil, which I've infused the flowers in olive oil, and it makes a beautiful red oil. Now the red oil from St. Johnswort is showing you, it's the doctrine of signatures, right? So it's showing you it's going to actually, when you take it internally, regulate the blood. So it does regulate the blood. I find that it reduces cholesterol. It thins the blood if it's too thick. It just helps modulate the blood. And certainly there's a bunch of other wonderful herbal actions that St. Johnswort has. Topically, it's relatively safe. If you're on blood thinners, just have to be mindful of that. But this is only a little teeny bit that's going to go in here. And why I put it in here too is it does help regenerate the skin tissue, and it helps reduce the appearance of scars. And so does sea buckthorn, by the way. And then CBD is another tissue regenerator. These are both in extra virgin olive oil, so I'm only going to use a little bit. Sometimes olive oil can be clogging to the pores, but I'm just going to use a little bit. So most of these are very nice, clean oils. And what I'm going to do is, in certain parts and pieces, I'm going to put them together. So I've got, I'll just go in order here is what I've got. So I've got my chia seed oil, and I'm going to put about a equal part of each of these in here, and I have to make I'm making 6 2-ounces, so I want to put 12 ounces of oil. So I'm going to put it up to there, and I'm going to eyeball it just to be sure I get basically equal parts, except for the sea buckthorn, St. Johnswort, and CBD. I'm going to keep those to a smaller part. Just intuitively, I feel like that would be better for people. And I want more of these other oils that will penetrate and be very healthful to the body, or to the skin, I should say. Whereas the olive oil, I don't want to put too much of that in there, but I'm going to put a little bit of that. And this CBD, okay, so this is the deal with the CBD. I make my own potencies here at Sacred Tree. So I buy the hard, like, resin, like the 100% cannabinoid resin. Boy, it smells like smells like cannabis. This is an 1100, so that means there's 1100 milligrams of CBD per ounce of this oil. I can make it stronger, but I chose the 1100 because I thought that's a nice potency. And then I'll put just a doit of the St. Johnswort in there, and then a doit, because that's a real measurement, by the way. Doit, just like that, doit. And then some pumpkin seed. I'm almost at 12 ounces. I've got the plum oil. This is about 15 mils. I'm going to put that whole thing in there. The Baobab. And this is a tree. I never really knew about this tree until I went to Animal Kingdom in Disney. And it's this really cool tree, and it grows in Africa, and it gets super huge. And I think they had a fake one, honestly. I think it was fake. But then I looked it up, and Baobab trees get huge. And maybe you've seen those memes on Facebook or wherever, social media. They're really neat trees. So this is the seed oil. So that's going to go in there. It smells really good. So that's all my oils. So I've got them all in there. And what I'm going to do is mix it up with something. Spoons are good. And then I'll mix it up. And that's almost 12 ounces I gotta top it off. Put a little bit more rosehip seed oil just to top it off. So I get a good amount in each jar. We try to do the math before, right? So there's, look how beautiful it is. That's like face food right there. Boom. And what I would do with this is I would put it on at night. I do rose hydrosol like as a toner, and then I do the satin sheen before before I do makeup and stuff in the morning, and then at night I use the rosehip seed oil. That's all I use, and I mostly get my forehead because this has been sun damaged because, you know, it's very exposed, and so I just kind of use that to help reduce the sun damage. I used to live in Colorado, and you know people who've lived in Colorado for over 20 years because their skin looks like alligator skin if they don't use sunblock. The sun is much stronger there because you're up in higher elevation. So I lived there for almost a decade. So I was very careful about I did use sunblock, tried to use a natural sunblock because there's a lot of chemicals in sunblock. But I did get some severe burns there. So you know, not too bad, not too shabby. But this is what's gonna go in the bottles. I don't have a funnel here, but I won't show you the pouring process. It's boring, but I'm pouring it in my bottles and I'm gonna use a dropper. So I'm calling this my ultimate skin serum. And that's just pretty much what's gonna go on the shelf today. You know, gotta love it. Thanks for watching.